From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, February 21st, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.43 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,328 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $37, and the average price of Bitcoin is $11,016. Antiwar.com reports at least 29 people, mostly Afghan police, were killed on Tuesday in a series of attacks across Afghanistan, with the largest attack hitting the Farah province, where the Taliban targeted multiple checkpoints. Taliban fighters hit 2 highway checkpoints early in the morning in Buluk district in Farah, killing 16 police, then hitting another checkpoint inside the provincial capital, killing 5 more. 4 police are also reported missing after the string of attacks. 5 more police were killed in the Helmand province and another attack by the Taliban on a checkpoint overnight, though when the Taliban issued a statement of responsibility, they'd claimed to have killed dozens of police and captured 10 others. Rounding out Tuesday's violence was a mysterious explosion at a hotel in Jalalabad, which killed 3 civilians. Jalalabad has recently been targeted by the Islamic State fighters, though as of yet, officials aren't saying what happened there.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports for the first time since 2007, the Texas Parole Board on Tuesday recommended clemency for a prisoner on death row who was convicted of murdering his family for inheritance money. Bart Whitaker is scheduled to be executed on Thursday for the 2003 slayings, although the Parole Board recommended that his sentence be reduced to life in prison. The final decision on Whitaker's fate will be up to Governor Greg Abbott. Bart Whitaker's father, Kent Whitaker, was the lone survivor of the attack and has advocated for his son to get a life sentence. At a press conference before the Parole Board announced its recommendation, Kent Whitaker said, "Victims' rights should mean something in this state, even when the victim is asking for mercy and not vengeance." Kent Whitaker told local media that his son has been a model prisoner and is working on a graduate school thesis, and received 4 letters from prison guards who recommended that his life be spared. Kent Whitaker said, "My son is the last member of my direct family, and he's going to be taken from us by the state of Texas in the name of justice in a way that none of my family wants."
Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io.
Reuters reports a Wisconsin man convicted of murder in the case that was chronicled in the Netflix documentary Making a Murderer on Tuesday asked the U.S. Supreme Court to toss out his 2005 confession that his attorney claims was coerced by investigators. Attorneys for Brendan Dassey made a similar argument to the U.S. 7th Circuit Court of Appeals in Chicago in December and failed. The judges voted 4-3 to uphold his conviction in the slaying of Teresa Halbach. Dassey confessed that when he was 16, he helped his uncle, Stephen Avery, rape and kill Halbach in 2005. Her charred remains were found on Avery's property about 80 miles north of Milwaukee in Manitowoc County. The pair were convicted of the murder in separate trials. Both men are in prison in Wisconsin. The case was the basis for a 10-part documentary, Making a Murderer, which questioned the handling of the investigation and the motives of the county law enforcement officials. A dissenter in the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals decision, Chief Judge Diane Wood, said Dassey was a low-functioning teenager with an IQ in the low 80s and that without his confession, the case against him was almost non-existent. Wood wrote, "Even if we were to overlook the coercion, the confession is so riddled with input from the police that its use violates due process." In 2016, a U.S. magistrate judge overturned the guilty verdict against Dassey, citing coercion. Then, a 3-judge panel of the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the magistrate's ruling, and Wisconsin prosecutors asked for the review by the full court. In October, a Wisconsin judge denied Avery a new trial. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.